How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about Tales from the Crypt Season 1. Now, I'm actually recording this in March 2020, and for those of you who are watching this way into the future and forget what happened then, there was a global pandemic, and lots of people all throughout the world are quarantined into their own houses, and it's been very, very boring. You get very stir crazy. Now, luckily for me, I actually, on one of the last trips I did to the used movie store before they closed, I picked up Tales from the Crypt Seasons 1 and 2, and I was really glad I did in retrospect, because I didn't know how bad the quarantine would end up being, and I didn't know how really bored I would end up getting, and having 2 seasons of Tales from the Crypt really helped out. Look forward to Season 2's review really soon, because I'll probably blow through those really quick as well. Really grateful to the show. Thank you guys. Anyway, Tales from the Crypt Season 1 from 1989, based on the EC comics of the same name. However, some of these stories are taken from other EC comics books, like Vault of Horror. So if you want to know which book the story was taken from, just look at the opening credits. They always say the book. This aired on HBO as well, so everything's completely uncensored and just like watching a regular movie, but shorter and with a consistent theme amongst them. This is an anthology show, meaning that every episode is going to be a different story with different characters, different actors, but there is one element that ties them all together, and that's John Cassier's character, the Crypt Keeper. This guy lives in his crypt below a haunted mansion, and he always introduces the episode. He'll be doing something weird and different each time, and then he'll open up his big book and turn to a page with the comic book cover, but altered to feature the actors from the show, and he'll give the story a little introduction, setting up the themes and the tone of the episode, and then once the story wraps up, he would do the outro as well, and, you know, lead you out of it. And this is a really fun and great character, and in addition to that, one thing I really appreciate is John Cassier would keep this role up, whether it's for the animated kids show Tales from the Crypt Keeper, or any little cameo the character made in the movies as well, and anything the Crypt Keeper was in after this show was always voiced by John Cassier. He had a dedication to this character, and it's something I really appreciate when an actor is passionate about a character and always keeps with it, even though, like for this, I know it was a major strain on his voice. I read the IMDb trivia. They said he had to, drink lemon juice and honey to help his vocal cords after doing long sessions of the Crypt Keeper voice, and that kind of passion, I really have to say, is greatly appreciated. The series, also being an anthology show, it was a good chance for them to get on guest directors. You'd see this motif later on with Masters of Horror did it and really advertised it. Tales from the Crypt Season 1, you got guest directors Robert Zemeckis, who is also the series producer, most known for the Back to the Future trilogy, Richard Donner, who a lot of people know for the Superman movies, horror fans know for The Omen. You also get Tom Holland, who did Child's Play and Fright Night, and Mary Lambert, who did Pet Sematary, directing a pet-centric episode. All the episodes are really good, horror, dark comedy with really cool and over-the-top makeup and special effects and make it feel really comic booky, which it should, because this is based on a comic book. But rather than trying to describe the show's tone in general, I'm gonna pick 3 episodes out of the 6. There's only 6 in season 1. There'll be more episodes in later seasons. 3 episodes out of the 6 that really define the show's tone and themes. The first one is The Man Who Was Death. It's about this electrician who becomes the state's executioner, killing people with the electric chair. The state gets rid of the death penalty, and this guy, being out of work, decides to become a vigilante, killing people with electricity. And he also narrates the episode. So you get him in his southern drawl explaining things, and you get to see how this character thinks. It's a really good introductory episode to the series with a really good and memorable character. I really like this one. The show got off to a great foot. The next one is And All Through the House. This is a woman. She decides to murder her husband, but after she does that, there's an escaped person from the mental hospital that got out and has now disguised himself in a Santa suit from a house that he killed someone with. And unfortunately for her, the guy wanders by her house next. So you get a Santa slasher, and it's an episode that's, worth rewatching if you ever get on a Christmas horror binge around December. Really good fun, and if you're a slasher fan, hey, a slasher episode. Santa slasher. The next one I want to mention, Mary Lambert's episode, Collection Completed. In this episode, you get a man who's worked really hard all his life, making him tired and cranky, and he is forced to retire at the age of 65, and he didn't want to retire, but now he's stuck at home with nothing to do, and he can't shift into the relaxing mode. He wants to keep working, he can't settle down, but that's kind of the least of his problems. In addition to that making him agitated, he comes back to find that him and his wife, while he was working, grew into 2 very different people. While she was alone, she started befriending and taking care of animals, taking in lots and lots of pets. Now, the husband thinks she's gone a little overboard, but a neighbor informs him that she's been like that pretty much this whole time. And to realize that, the woman that you started out really loving has changed into a different person while you spent all those years working, and then coming back into retirement and realizing that maybe you don't really know each other is really deep and horrifying. However, there is a good bit of humor in this episode too, but it's just one of those themes that I'm like, gee, that's really dark and real too, So this is an episode that is really good and stuck in my head. Thanks, Mary Lambert, for that one. Good companion piece to Pet Sematary. Although in this one it's not an evil cat or anything. It goes in a different direction. Which actually came out the same year as Pet Sematary. Both of those were 89, so I wonder if they tied in, one got people hyped for the other. Anyway, this is a really great show. I definitely recommend it. If you like horror comedy at all, you really need to be checking out Tales from the Crypt. There's 7 seasons, and I am already a few episodes into season 2, and look forward to that review coming soon on the channel. Great show. Check it out if you're a horror fan at all. Really, you need to be watching this. One of the best anthology horror shows. Anyway, this channel's been growing at a pretty good rate, so I'd like to give a big thanks to everyone who's liked and subscribed. You guys are really helping this channel out, and I'll see you guys again soon with more horror movie and TV reviews. Anyway, have a good day.